This podcast is brought to you by ClubGG. Create clubs for free and subscribe to win over $200,000 in prizes.
Welcome, everyone. We have another very special podcast today. It's episode number 174. I got my good friend, the man, the myth, the legend. I got him right there on his Hendon Mob. You can see it zoomed in. He's got the buttons down. He's living his best life. He's a freshly World Series of Poker bracelet winner. He also is a three-time LAPT champion, the only one to ever do that. Nacho Barbero, how are you?
I'm great, man. I mean, life is amazing lately. Can't complain.
Well, listen, I know that. I know you can't complain. I do want to just kind of jump right in and lead off about the World Series of Poker bracelet win. $10,000 turbo. You are, I believe, 40 years old. You've been playing since 2006. A lot of close calls, final tables, deep runs. How does it actually feel to get the monkey off the back and win that? Not, 587,000, whatever it was, big score, but to actually get first, get that bracelet. What was that feeling like?
I mean, honestly, it's the thing you win. I mean, I was dreaming my whole life. I mean, it's like amazing. Like, it's something that since I started playing poker, I just wanted to be like a bracelet winner or like make a final table of the main event. Like, now, as you said, like I had so many close calls and like sometimes, I mean, the competition is super tough because, like people say, oh yeah, this World Series is, oh, it's so much value. Yeah, but when you're playing like 10Ks and 5Ks, even at the end, like the majority are like really, really good players. I mean, obviously there is a ton of value at the beginning, but then you're facing the best in the world. You gotta run good, you gotta play good. I mean, it's complicated. I mean, like, so I mean, for me it was like a dream, and you know what happened. Like I had a really rough year, so. I mean, to win that in that moment of my life, I think it was just like it was like a gift of God, like it's like, okay, yeah, you had it too rough this year. We're going to give you something. And yeah, I felt it like that way, like, I mean, just like something very special, very unique, I mean, all my friends were there. Like, I mean, and yeah, it was like, literally like the best thing that ever happened to me. I mean, in poker, like not even what I won like before or like the LAPTs or like the high roller in London, like they were like super special, but this is like 10 times bigger for me. Like it's like nothing even compared. Like whenever they call you up, for the ceremony and you go like and you give the speech or they play the anthem. It's like the most special thing that you can achieve like as a poker player. And it's funny because I was the first time like an Argentinian won a bracelet, it was Ivan Luca. And he won like, I don't remember, I think it was like a $2,500 Negrin, no? Yeah, everybody knows him, obviously. Mm-hmm. And the funny thing, he was on the final table and I was chip leader of the 5K with 7 left. And like I had like 100 blinds or something. And I ended up finished 7, like, and he won the first bracelet for Argentina. It was kind of like a big thing to me the same night he won it. And I was so frustrated, because it was like, what the heck, like I'm first of 7 on a 5K and I ended up finishing. I lost like 2 flips, like queens to kings, and I was out 7.
Yeah.
6 max. And I was like, wow. I was like, that was such a like, because I really wanted to be the first Argentinian to win it, and he won it, and it was like the same night. I was like, wow, this is crazy.
Well, and tell me, basically you lose poker tournaments for a living, right? That's what I was on the tournament circuit for many years and all the time, right? You take second or third, or you don't cash, or you min cash, or you final table, but you don't win. It's a tough thing to do because like it's so far and few between that you actually get that winning feeling. Of course, winning some big money, final tabling is nice too as well. How are you able to over the years sort of take that in? Like, how do you deal with the times where you don't cash or you have a losing series or you travel? How have you progressed over the years with that? How have you gotten better at dealing with, when it doesn't go well?
I mean, I don't know if I got better, to be honest. Like sometimes it's a tournament that I really care, like let's say a 6 max or like something that I really enjoy playing. It's kind of hard, because you put like 3-4 days and you go there and like you barely, I mean, you make like 3 times your money after your 4 days, that it barely covers like the 2 entries you made. And you're like, it's still hard, because some other tournament, let's say you've been there, you know, like if it's like whatever, it's a 1500 at the World Series, you lose whatever, you know, like you gotta beat like 6,000 people, you know, like it's super hard. But if it's like a big tournament, like for example these ones I was just talking about, or like a 5K that you go deep and you get like a bad beat like with 15 left or something like that, that it happens to you all the time. You're like there, I get like a couple of hours, I'm still like, you know, like, oh, maybe for the day I just don't feel like amazing. But you know what I do? I just feel like on the World Series, for example, or like or any other tournament, if I go to play a series, it's okay. I mean, I lose the tournament, on to the next one, you know, like that's it, you know, like I mean, my head is after 20 minutes or 1 hour, I'm ready to go. I'm like, okay, let's play another one. I mean, this is what I'm doing for a living, you know, like I can't be sad about like losing. I mean, you're not gonna win every tournament, or you're not gonna be like, so I mean, if you're not comfortable with losing, how you gonna be a successful poker player? I mean,
And was there anything different though? Like because I mean, how many World Series events have you played? You think it's got to be on average over the course of whatever. So it's just crazy because I'm in the same boat as you. Well, almost right. I have a second. I have like 7 final tables. I don't have a win. And as much as I like to say, oh, it doesn't matter. It does. You know, it's you want to have that, right? It's just nice to have that on your resume, the actual win. Was there something different? Did you go into that tournament and were you on time? Were you super focused? Were you hungry, or were you kind of just like whatever? Like, what was your mindset during this WSOP and actually during that event? Anything different, or did this one just kind of click?
no, actually, this was very different for me. I mean, this World Series, like I was like on the best mindset. I was like doing every day, like I would wake up, I was doing like Wim Hof, I would do the breathing, after I would do the cold showers, then I would go to the gym, then I would go to do like cryo, you know, like cryogenesis, like on the, like you get into the cold chamber, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was every day. I didn't go out for 2 months, and
Wow.
yeah,
Okay.
I wasn't like I didn't go out with any girls. I was just like I knew what I had to do, and I had like so many deep runs. I ended up winning the bracelet, and I didn't have the time to play that many cash games because I was so focused on the tournament. But I played like really big cash games for like maybe 8-9 sessions, and I actually crashed too, like, but I was like on the zone, you know, like I was like every day wake up 10 a.m. I would do the Wim Hof, I would go to the cryo, I would go to the gym, I would be at 12:1 at the Paris plane. That was it. Go to bed at 2, repeat for 2 months. I didn't drink, I didn't do anything, you know. It was like, yeah, that's it, I'm gonna win. And I ended up making like over $1 million or something, like in the 2 months. But I was like, you know, that mindset that I was like, okay, I took a really big hit this year. Now it's time to like, okay, there's no parties. It's like there is nothing, you know. Like what I'm gonna do is just to make money. And I was ready, like mentally, physically. Like I was like, okay, this is it. I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna succeed. And it happened. If you
It's
really
ama-
believe if you really believe, it happens. But you know, like it's complicated because Vegas is such a, you know how it
it's a
is.
playground, yeah, and then it's also it's like a summer camp. You got all your
It's just,
friends. There's
you have all your
everyone in
friends.
poker. So like, if you want to party or if you want to go have fun or go to the beach or do like, it's available
You wanna
easily.
go to a
And you,
pool party.
yeah,
You wanna go out. You start drinking. You like whatever. Like you ended up like, and then honestly, I'm really bad at that. I mean, I don't know if it's because I'm 40 right now, but like, you know, I used to be, you know, like it's different. Like right now, if I drink the next day, you know, I'm like, I pay it. It's not free.
yeah. No, it's tough on the body. I got to ask about your family in poker, and actually, I want to dive into sort of like your original results, which is crazy because I got to have a statistic. I'm gonna go back. This is
This
episode
is
number
funny. The first
174.
tournament I ever played in my
No,
life, I won.
that's what I'm saying. It's crazy. I swear to you, 90% plus. I'll put that. I'm almost sure on the show who are poker players, like final table their first ever event. I wonder if there's something to that. Who stayed around because they like gets you hooked. But you went first and second. What is that like to take for to have that success right away and win even a $500 buy-in, but 2005, right? This is 17 years ago. Or you're 23
Honestly, it
years
was
old.
pretty big
Yeah,
for me back
right.
then. $500. Yeah, I mean that it's funny. That's my second ever live tournament I played. The first one was the night a day before, and it was a limit hold'em tournament. This is my first no limit ever tournament I played in my life.
Wow.
I went to play in Aviation Club in France. I was living there because we were playing Magic. And I went and like I say, okay, I wasn't even that good in no limit, honestly. I was pretty fishy, to be honest. But being pretty fishy, I was a limit player because we were playing limit online. I wasn't that fishy compared to the other persons. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I remember I won ace king to ace king when like 12 left for like all the chips. That was it. I won the tournament.
Sick. And how was your?
I remember winning ace king to ace king with like 12 left.
And how was your family support about poker? You got in from an early age. Obviously, you're from Argentina. You know, at poker and the culture there. I'm not. You know, now I think it's probably gotten more popular, but back then, like, tell me a little bit about the early beginnings of poker and what your family support level was.
They always been really supportive. My mom, she always. They always. I mean, whenever I told them I'm quitting college, you know, I was studying law, like to go play. They say it's fine. I mean, you can do it. They actually, whenever I don't know how it works in America, but in Argentina, if you're 18, for your parents to leave the country by yourself, they have to sign.
Wow.
So basically, yeah, they gotta give me a permit. So they say they gave me the permit and they sign, and I say, I mean, I want to quit. This is not what I want to do. Like, they say, okay, there is the son. They always say something like this: you can only give them wings, and then they can fly by themselves. I mean, there's nothing you can do to prevent like a son. It's like, no, I mean, yeah, even though my parents, they wanted me to go to college school, you know, and like be there. I mean, they always, I mean, they didn't push too hard. They just say, okay, you want to do this, go do it. And that was amazing because, you know, like, I mean, I would have been like, my life would have been completely different. And I honestly think like, with like all the highs and lows and like everything what happened, I think I lived like an amazing life through all the years. You know, I've been like doing whatever I want, traveling all the world around. I mean, I'm honestly, I'm so happy for what poker gave me and like Magic the Gathering gave me like through my life, because it's like it's hard to think like that you can have like this kind of life. That it's kind of amazing, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, we've been playing poker for 20 years plus, I guess. It feels like that.
18 years, yeah.
18 years, a long time. I mean, I know.
Oh, actually, 20 years. Yeah, I started in 2002. Wow.
Yeah, me too. I think I was right around the same exact time.
Hey,
But
wow.
and it is. I always say this as well. I think poker is. Yeah, I was 14, 15, maybe. Yeah, about 20 years. I was in high school playing just like for fun and. Yeah, put a little money online. Same thing, right? We're from the moneymaker boom, like the 2003, 2002 kind of, and rounders. Did you see rounders as well?
Yeah.
Was that right away?
Actually,
that was like,
you know what? You know who got me in? Like David Williams.
Okay.
Our good friend.
Yeah.
We were all playing Magic the Gathering, and when he won in 2004, he came second on the main event to Raymer, and we all said, okay, this is the path. We're going this way. If this guy can do it, and like literally like every Magic player turned into poker. Like after that, it was like, I was like, we were playing already, but that was like the thing that it was like the switch, you know, like, okay, we're gonna play.
Yeah, it's amazing the magic. You touched on that. I believe, were you ranked like the #1 player? You were a tournament. You did it for a living. Can you speak a bit about Magic and how long you played?
Yeah, I played since like I was 17 to like I was 23 professionally. But I still play. I played last night, like all night. It's like,
really, how has that game changed? Because I started to kind of get subsided. I had some Magic cards. I never actually played the game, but I had collected some when I was a kid. Like, poker's changed, right? The big blind ante, the way it's done now. There's 4-card, 5-card, different variations. How much has Magic actually evolved now? Like from when you played then, are the rules different? Are there different? Is it online more? What's happening?
Yeah, they changed some rules. They made it like a bit more simple,
right?
And it's super complicated. Like, I mean, like it's like a game that like I mean, honestly, it's so hard that it's like sometimes I just have so much fun playing that, but like sometimes it's hard not to make any mistakes. Like, you know what I mean? Like even in poker, like is you can play way closer to play for me to like play like in a good tournament or something, or like to play like something close to good. In Magic is like very hard sometimes because like there's so many interactions and you have to know all the cards and how this card interact with this one and this one.
Right.
Sometimes you forget. Sometimes it's a new card. They come a new card. I'm like, but it's super fun and I love it. I mean, like we should still play so much with like many of the old guys.
That's cool. And is there cheating scandals in Magic? Because I heard chess.
They
They
used
talk
to
about
be. They
they
used to
talk
be.
about anal beads now. There was this fishing thing scandal that came out with the weight in the fish. Some huge stuff that these
Wow,
guys
I
got
saw the
caught.
fishing one. The one
Yeah,
that
I mean, it's just like everyone's doing some crazy stuff. Is that and we got to talk about Jack 4 off, of course. That's a hot topic. But in Magic, what are people doing? Like, what can people do to cheat? And is that a problem?
obviously online is impossible, but live tournaments, yeah, I used to remember there were like some well-known cheaters. It was kind of easy to cheat. I mean, but it also was like very very I mean you would get banned for life for like 3 years, no Magic 4 years.
Right.
So I mean I never cheated, like, but like I know many players they did, like they were it's funny because I remember like cheats like this, like you have 7 cards, they would play this card and then they would get it from the graveyard and play it again. And like it's like you can do many stuff. Like
Right.
they were like or like drawing 2 cards at the turn.
Yeah. I think that's one of the great things about games, golf, poker, chess, backgammon, all these different things, right? You can really get to know someone. And some of these games are one-on-one, some are at a table, a setting. Golf, you go with 4 guys, people cheat. You hear about it all the time. Guys move their ball, they drop stuff, they do like you learn a lot about people on how they deal with your wins, your successes, your own personal, winnings and losings. Like it's a very interesting thing when you are able to play a game where there's variance, luck, and get to see how people react and how you handle success and others' successes too. So I think that I think that's why games are so great. And like I said, like I wouldn't trade it for anything. You could say, oh, maybe I could have been a trader or this or that, but like I think poker genuinely is the greatest thing in the world. Like I wouldn't trade my 20-year roughly like what's my journey for pretty much anything, at least that I'm aware of, right? Like for me, it's the most fun. The people, the experiences, the travel, the ups, the downs, the highs, the lows, all of it. It's exciting, and you get to build it from basically nothing, right? That's the thing that is unique to us is like we started as kids. Like it's one thing if you're 40 years old right now and you find poker, right? You could get in some trouble. Like you start playing big games, you have a family, maybe you have a other significant others. But when you're like 18, 16, and you're just like discovering the world,
you nothing
you
to lose.
like you go broke a couple times, like okay,
Yeah.
like or whatever, right? It doesn't work out in a couple years or something, and like you're just kind of doing it as a hobby. It's okay. So yeah, no, I think I'm fascinated. I love these podcasts. I love talking to people and kind of going through their careers, and also there's not a ton of people that have been around for 20 years, right? Like there are some of the OG poker guys you still see, and even then, like they get families or play less. So it's cool to see people that have sort of made it for that period of time and been successful and had a good time. So yeah, that's very cool. Tell me your quick. I don't want to spend the podcast on the Jack 4 off, but obviously you're a smart guy. You're in the poker scene. You have a very informed opinion, right? Like you understand the game. We see so many people dive in on their opinions, right, with no real information and make it about women or men, or say, oh, a girl caught him bluff, like crazy takes that have no bearing or no understanding of the game. For you, what is like your quick kind of just like overall analysis and thoughts on it?
I mean, first of all, I hung out with Robbie a little bit this World Series, and I think she's super cool.
Okay, so you've met her and know her, so that's relevant.
I met her,
okay.
yeah, she's fun. I mean, honestly, like my take is, if you're actually gonna be cheating, are you gonna be cheating that dumb? I think I got cheated maybe once in a poker game. It's not a hand like that it goes, it's like more like, we get it in set over set. I mean, like on the flop, and the guy hits the one, rivers the one out or whatever. And I know it could have been like a crook game, like, and then I was like, okay, I'm never playing again in this game, But I think it's like whenever it's a cheat, it should be more sophisticated. But also, I was just seeing something about dog call today, that this guy Rip says, "What a sick call before turning a hand," and that gave me like the intrigue, and I'm like, how does he know what a sick call? He doesn't even know what before she flipped over the hand. You know what I mean? He's just
well,
like,
unless she's well, okay, look, unless she saw the the hand that he had 8 high, right? Like I don't know if maybe she didn't see the hand, but I will say like I don't know her. I haven't seen all the footage. I'm not like super, you can go into Joey Ingram, Doug Polk. They're doing amazing coverage, right? They're having all the
yeah,
people on the shows. They're recapping, replaying, showing stuff. So like they're deep into it and they have a much better idea, I think. But I've had experience being involved where something happened, and I will say like fact that she ran it twice, I guess that's important. But at the same token, if she says once and they're like, it's very obvious if you're at a game they only want to run once and you take a bad beat or crazy hands, right? That also looks very shady, like for a big.
if it's one, it's 100% cheat.
Right. I've seen it before where guys like it's queens to aces and like, oh, one is home game, one time, one time only, and like you're behind and it smoked the queen. It's like crazy.
You know what I was thinking?
Yeah.
I was thinking like a good way to avoid this. Why don't we get to the point that if you're scared about that, why don't perfect, or they put out the flop, give a deck a shuffle.
So this is very interesting. I just heard this. They do this in Cyprus at a Merit, I believe, and like often. It actually it's a little more work for the dealers, but really it's not. It doesn't matter. There's a little. That is a way that would literally prevent like almost 100% those things, and I think that should happen more because there's going to be some purists that are like, oh, the deck, but like, yeah, who cares, right? It's like a random outcome, and like now you can't do that.
It's a random outcome, like I was saying. If you guys are so scared about this, let's just give a riffle, like shuffle, and the guy to the left or the bottom cuts the deck. That's it, or the dealer cuts it. Whatever.
Yeah. But the other side, the other thing I thought was super strange about the hand was like she was engaging with Garrett after the hand, and she said, "I thought you had ace high." So like
black high,
right? And then so I think it kind of comes down to this: did she misread her hand or not? Because if she does believe she had jack,
she didn't misread her hand.
Okay, so if she didn't misread her hand, how can she say that she thought he had ace high, call off 100,000 with jack 4 off, no redraw, no draw, and then say she put him on ace high? And then like from the standpoint of 2 runs, let's just say hypothetically she knows she's winning the first one, right? Like if like she were able to know the run out, and there are things and devices and all kinds of stuff. I don't know who has access, who's in the thing, whatever, right? Let's just say she did get that far, then it's like a free roll, right? If you know you have the best hand on the river on the first one, then like because if she had chopped the second run, there probably wouldn't be as much. There'd be a lot less talk. It would be less of a thing. She wouldn't have had to give them, or wouldn't have gotten put in a spot to give the money back. It would have been weird, but like no one would really like, oh, okay, because like then you or I would know it's kind of fishy, right? Or people that understand poker where the first run, right, she won, and then she's like free rolling the second. That's kind of my take. The thing when she said that he has ace high, I thought you had ace high. He asked her, why did you call then? And she kind of just like says like she could have said right then, I thought I had a 3. Like even though it was very clear that she didn't, she looked at her cards. Someone asked if you had a 3. It was like all that. So I don't believe she thought she had a 3. And if
I don't believe, honestly, I don't believe anything she said after the hand.
Yeah, so like it's kind of, and then you could argue maybe she's flustered.
To be honest with you,
yeah.
I mean, I just don't buy it. I mean, my first take, it was like, okay, this is cheating. Then I looked it again. I'm honestly like, it can definitely happen. Like you just have like a brain fart. Like when you're playing a really good player. I mean, like these unexperienced players, like they just want to take a stand. Like okay, I mean, I'm fuck you running over me hand after a hand. I mean, obviously it's not the hand you would pick. You would pick like maybe an ace high or a king high or something like that makes a bit more sense.
Yeah. Also the emotion on the end, right? Like it's an absolutely epic spot. It's a huge thing, and she like wasn't, the immediate reaction would be probably super excited, right? Like it's just kind of like crazy. Like she looked almost like sheepish like afterward, and I actually felt sick watching it for Garrett. Like I don't
No,
know Garrett. Like
I mean,
he
if
looked,
I'm
he
honest, I
looked.
mean,
I actually felt it in my heart. I was like, holy shit!
yeah.
Like he
Oh
got
my
like,
God,
it
I feel
feels
so
like
bad for that
I
guy
felt
because
sick.
I mean, if that happens to me in a cash game, I'm like, okay, I got cheated 100%. There is like, I would look exactly like him, even worse. I mean, he actually kept the count so well, like that. I'm impressed. I would say like a lot of things to you in that hand.
Yeah,
Honestly, I wouldn't be able to keep myself as. I'm very impressed how he handled the situation, honestly, because
right.
I would go fucking off.
I mean, and then Phil Ivy's there, the reaction, like it's just kind of a crazy. The whole thing is crazy. You got like, you got big names there. It's bright lights, it's huge stuff, and it's like the Minrays call off. Whole like I don't know. It feels funny for sure. I think like again, I hate to, the innocent until proven guilty and all this. Like I hate to speculate or whatever. I just know as a poker player and also having some experience with some like unkosher things that I've seen and how it got done. Like I'm very skeptical for sure. And I've never met her. I'm not going to say one way or the other. Like it looks funny. Like I would definitely need some like, I would want to have an investigation. That's for
I
sure.
would, yeah, I feel the same way. But it can also be like, I mean, I understand like also what I say, like it can also be like a complete like brain fart coming from her. But
Right.
I think it's a 50-50 right now. I mean, I honestly, I mean, I don't know. Because if you're cheating that way, you're like, what the fuck
But
are you doing?
I say this though,
That's the only thing.
I agree, but look at Nacho. If you or I or anyone who has a basic understanding of poker and is common sense wanted to cheat or had that ability and did it and wanted to do it, we could do it. We'd do it forever because like you would make bad call. You would lose hands.
Yeah.
You would get coolered when you're supposed to get coolered. You would do it all, right? But like the greed and the silliness of it and like the like and then you could argue, well, why didn't she have more money? Or why did they run it twice? Like, well, if you're gonna do it, there's certain like basic things that you would understand to try not to do. And at the same time, why would you choose that hand? You could just do it all these other hands, like in spots where you have good hands to play and play your regular hand. And then anyway, all right, we'll leave it at that. I don't want to make this about that. It's current, it's interesting, and I'm curious on kind of your perspective as a no limit crusher playing poker for so long, kind of where you fall on it. So interesting to know her, and it's a difficult spot. I'm curious what's going to happen. What's going to happen for sure. Like the Paso, and I think we're all.
I mean,
like,
honestly, also they've been giving the money back. It's like what?
That was super bizarre as well. Like, and you hear the yelling on the side, and then like what was happening, but like exactly, like that's another thing.
I mean, for me, if it's like a legitimate hand, I mean, I was like, why would I give you the money back? Like, I put fucking 130,000 like on the line. I mean, like now I'm gonna give you the money back.
Right, and it was now we find out
so many things that don't make sense.
Right,
I mean,
she was backed by the guy or had it staked, and like she would, doesn't consult with him or like take a moment. Like she just like gives it right back. It's So anyway, it's a crazy deal, man. It's crazy, but I think people are asking if it's bad for poker. Like, and it's gotten national press, and it's not like she did cheat or didn't like officially, and it's a lot of worldwide news, and people are talking about it everywhere. I don't know. I think poker in general is booming. Like you see the online, the live, the WSOP on GG just had 20 plus million, 23 million prize pool, 2.7 million to first. Like poker seems very healthy in the moment at the live and online
yeah,
stuff.
I honestly don't like this. It's like I can't TV for poker. I just don't want like like people that get scared, like about going to play like private games, even like. I mean, I think we have to do like something that is like impossible to cheat. So what I was saying, like, yeah, okay, sure. Okay, the deck is cut, perfect. You burn, you shuffle. Next, let's go. Shuffle after every street. Let's do something. Let's find out what's the deal. Like to avoid this, like I don't want to be playing for like millions because I've been playing the past 2 years for like super high stake cash games, and I mean, honestly, on the game I play, I know the owner. I mean, like it's like I know there's 0% chance I'm getting cheated or anything. And
listen, nothing 0 or 100. I will say I love that idea about as also being involved or seeing the home games. Like I think that's a great idea, and I know some games do that. Like I personally would feel a lot more comfortable if that's like what happened. I think that that's something you could almost ask the players, or whatever. Like, because the thing is, probably most people think that they just don't want to. They don't want to, admit it, right? Or they don't want to. They want to. Yeah, they don't want to say, "Oh, do that," right? But it's like that ultimately is. It's something good to do, I think, right? You just like
Yeah,
offer that up.
you know what? It takes one more second, like who cares? Like, but it takes he has a refill shuffle, like whatever.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. So tell me, upcoming plans. What is now? You've won the bracelet. You've done many. You've got the 3 LAPTs. Are you focused more on? Do you have like any goals in terms of earnings, career money list, more bracelets? Like, what are goals for you in poker at this point?
Goals. I just wanna. I'm gonna go play like the EPTs and like the World Series now in Europe. So for now, that's like my current goals. Just try to do good. Just try to improve, like study more. Just spend more time, like playing. I probably maybe thinking about like coming maybe to stay in Europe more, and just I really enjoyed it. So, but also there are like so many good tournaments in America that I kind of want to go back. I'm thinking about going back to play the win. I think it's in December, like the 10K. So yeah. So no, I just gonna stay here. I say I'm gonna be out of America for like 4 months when it came to Europe. Then we have the World Cup, soccer World Cup, that I really think Argentina is gonna win. And so you guys should bet on Argentina and support Argentina. I'm gonna just be here and then go back over there and maybe play some more poker. I was doing a lot of crypto, but we got like really crashed. So I was kind of doing a lot of that, and we had like we did a lot of things in crypto, but like the last 7-8 months have been really rough for crypto. So I kind of backed off a little bit. So now I'm more focused in poker, but I'm pretty sure like we're gonna have like a bull market like in the horizon, maybe when the Fed stop printing money, and I'm gonna be back like doing a lot of crypto like I was doing.
And what? Tell me. You said you had a pretty insane year. What have been some learnings you've had with crypto and poker in terms of variance and whatnot? Because it's pretty wild, right? Like the crypto ride. I think a lot of poker players have been privy to stuff early, right? People use it for sites, or Lux on CoinRivet. People use it to deposit. They use it for live events. Obviously, in Cyprus, there was just that big series. Like, what have you kind of learned, or what has crypto taught you in terms of variance? Because it's at a whole new level than poker, right? I mean, poker is crazy.
The most important thing that crypto taught me: don't use leverage. I've been always super over leverage. I made like so much money with leverage also, but then when the things go wrong, you don't want to be on the side of like using leverage. So I just like, whenever people ask me, what's your take? You gotta be, first of all, you gotta be really, really in the day-to-day to be like using like high amounts of leverage like I was using. So if you're not like really experienced or like really like what you're doing, it's just like stay away, because you're gonna get destroyed. Like I got destroyed. I got destroyed for other reasons. But even though, like, just whatever you think is a good value coin. Let's say right now you think Bitcoin is a good price, or like Ethereum or like Cosmos. You just buy it and hold it, and like whatever, in 5 years, like you're probably gonna have like a good amount of money, or like you're gonna make a really good profit like in the long term. It's just don't think it like in the short term. Like it might go down a little bit more. Like I'm pretty sure Bitcoin can go to like 13,000 still, or like 14 or 12. But on the long run, I think it's just like, if you're not, there's so many tools. We started doing like DeFi like 2 years ago, or like 2.5 years ago. And like, it was, obviously you can make so much money and you can do like so many things that people is not used to. and it's amazing. I mean, like there are like so many tools and like so many protocols that you can use. How to earn like um, interest, how to earn like shields, how to earn like so many things. But at the end, like I think what is the most easy for like people that they don't understand too much of the field is like just buy and hold whatever you think is a good coin and it's something good in the long term. Like don't get too, like don't try to play on the, like too much on the do things that you don't know about, because you're gonna get wrecked like the majority of the people. And there are so many exploits and so many other things that you need to know that, like, I mean, sometimes like the people say like, oh, I have money in this side, I mean, I got shredded, I got this, I have money on Celsius, and I mean, it's hard, like crypto is not that easy, it's not regulated. And so basically, like my take for like people is like just like buy whatever he thinks is good and it's gonna be good on the long term, and I just hold it and maybe stake it somewhere that you think is going to give you like something safe that is going to give you a couple percentage a year, and that's it. Like you just don't overthink it too much.
For sure. No, it's I agree with that advice. And kind of going back here to the LAPT, because I do want to touch on that. You're a 3-time LAPT winner. The first one coming in, what was this? 2000. I believe that's the first one. Was that right? 2010? Your
Yeah.
first one? Or no, 2000. Yeah. Oh, 2 in the same year.
Yeah.
Okay. So you win this. What was
they
what
were
was
back
that
to
like?
back. They were back to back.
And how special were these events? Because I see some big names in here still, but it's obviously, I think at the time at least, Latin America was behind the ball on overall like the quality of player maybe. But do you feel like you had a huge advantage in these versus the other series, or was it maybe you knew some of the players better? What were you able to do to just win 3 of these and be the only 3-time LAPT winner?
No, honestly, I mean, I ran super good on the LAPTs. Like, I mean, we were all like kind of, I mean, obviously, like back then, it was like the level was way softer, like way softer. But yeah, I mean, it was just like, I mean, I don't think I had like, I mean, I was maybe, what, like people had like, I had like a really, like the people would fear me a little bit in South America, maybe a small, because I was winning so much. So yeah, that kind of gave me an edge at some point, because I was like, oh, Nacho is winning this, Nacho is winning this. So yeah, it's, like it's more like maybe the people make some, like not the good players, but like an amateur or something, they make more mistakes, or they wanna play more hands against you, or they play something they should never play, because it's like, oh, like exactly what Robbie happened, like the hand, like sometimes they just take a stand against you where they shouldn't, and like they just end up giving you the whole stack or whatever. So yeah, so I mean, I had like kind of like that edge, I think, but I didn't have, honestly, in 2010 I ran so hard, it was like, it was not even normal. It was like maybe, like the year, like, Dan Coleman won everything, like it was like you just never lose a flip, you just win every hand. I mean, like it's so easy, like sometimes it's just you go on those tricks, like, or like what Adamo did like last year playing live, like you just win every hand, like, I mean, no matter what happens, he wins every tournament, like, I mean, like it happens. But yeah, obviously that gives you a boost in your confidence, and you're there in the hands, and whenever you're losing, you're making more mistakes, and you're not confident, and you're losing every hand, you're losing every flip, you're losing everything. And whenever you're winning, it's just like, oh, I'm gonna win this hand, like it's still like a mindset, like it's just there. It's
Yeah,
just
that is, it's an interesting thing you mentioned. Dan Coleman, of course, good friend of ours, great player, kind of been off the poker for a bit, just kind of enjoying. But those type of runs, right? You might, and exactly in that area, in that domain, you must be kind of feared, right? You can feel it when these like guys are folding their big blind too much. It's sort of like the Helmuth or a girl, right? They have a different way at the table where they know either people are trying to get them or they're like scared of them. And that's a very nice place to be in, because you can kind of tell right away, right? If someone's like trying to get you or attack you and what hands they're playing and how they're playing against you, or guys that kind of respect you and just sort of, stay out of the way. So is that something you feel like over the years you've been able to really be an exploitively, you capitalize on the exploit of the game?
yeah. I mean, obviously, like I mean, I was sorry. I got unfocused because I seen that there is no light here. You want me to turn off the
Yeah.
lights?
Nacho, that. Oh yeah, we got to ask the. Yeah, get a little light, ladies.
Yeah.
I do want him to confirm. I believe he's single completely. So I know this is a predominantly male podcast, but we do like to always check in with the guest on their relationship status, if they're married.
As
Off the market.
it was a beautiful daylight when we started the podcast.
Yeah, well, the background light. You got
I
the
was looking at myself.
view.
I was on the shadows. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's the wrong way. You need the light to come.
Yeah,
You gotta have the professional, and then we hit the background.
I need some love.
Can we confirm? Are you single or not? I told you it's
Yeah,
male. You know, you are. So, how has that been being in relationships over the years, or not? You know, in poker, and is it easier or harder because you're free schedule, but the schedule's tough for a significant other to kind of put up with the late hours of the travel and spread. So, how have you dealt with relationships over the years in poker?
Good question. I didn't get to. I don't get too much into relationships. It's just like to be free. I dated many girls in these years, but like not like super serious. Maybe a couple of them were more serious, and they were like. I spent some years with them, but like it was not like no like. I just don't want to be glued. Like every day. Like to like someone. Like every trip, and then like. I like being by myself, and like, yeah, sometimes I travel, like with girls, and like I took many girls to poker tournaments and stuff, and I enjoy it. But sometimes, like you go to a poker tournament, and now, for example, I was just like a girl came to visit me now, like in Bratislava, and I was like, I'm gonna be playing like 14 hours a day. You want to be here? Sometimes it's hard even when they're not your girlfriends, you to understand that they're like, it's not like I don't want to spend time with you, it's just like I came here to play, and I'm gonna be playing from noon to 3 a.m., 4 a.m. every day. Then I wake up, I try to go to the gym, and I have no time. It's not like I don't want to have time for you. It's just like sometimes those like schedules is way better, if you go to a trip, let's say to PCA or like something like in the Caribbean, like that makes way more sense, But sometimes it's like,
Yeah.
For example, if I would have like somebody with me in Vegas during the World Series, good luck, spending time with me, because I would go from gym, as I told you, gym to the World Series to play. If I would bust whatever I'm playing, I would go to play cash-in.
It's hard. It's hard to find. Yeah, because then it's also you're like playing and you find yourself, oh, I might go to dinner with them or not. So maybe I'll play a little looser. You're not like in your pure, clear intention, right? Of like my best version of myself, like off your phone. You got to like check in with them. Oh, are you coming to dinner? Maybe. I got 12 big blinds. So like, oh, I'm gonna I push a little more. You don't play your absolute best, and it's a tricky deal. Yeah, that makes sense. I got to ask you about the Argentina all-time money list. You're number 2. You mentioned Ivan Luca. I think he was the first to ever win a great player. Of course, Maria, who also has had some unbelievable scores, very talented. And then I got to ask you about this man, Alejandro Lococo. Is huge. He's an absolute legend. Guy crushes it. Plays. Had a main event final table. He actually has won some other tournaments, and he's look at it. He got first here, November 9 final table, first here the EPT in 2022. This guy can actually play poker. How well do you know him? And he's great for the game and a very talented musician.
Yeah, I know him for maybe 4 years or something like that. 3, 4 years. I always get along with him so good. He's just such a nice person, like he's one of those real down to earth guys. This guy was like, he was rapping, like he was doing freestyle on the buses, like to make like, bro, if I tell you how much money that people would give you on a bus in Argentina when you're freestyling, it might be like, I don't know, bro. No, it's not even $1 what they would give you. They would give you way less than that.
Right.
So that's how he started, like, and he's like a really nice person. Like I think he's super aggressive. If you ever play with him, like he's just like he's out of control. The other day he was at the fight. I mean, we were playing the 5K, and he was to my left, and it's like the guy just never stops. It's like goes off, and goes like completely crazy. The other day, even I was playing with him on GG. We sat down on like a 1K or something. The first hand, I get dealt kings. It's like I raise, call, he 3-bets, I 4-bet, he 5-bet shoves, like initial stack, like ace queen, like the guy goes for it, like you're not gonna be fucking around. If you're there 4-betting light to him, the guy is gonna profit about that, like I mean, and then we got it in, whatever. I had kings, he had ace queen, but I was light so much of the time there, like
yeah.
I mean, like he knows. I mean, and I actually think like the way he plays is just so perfect for the main event, like because his people is so scared and you're there on the main event sitting like, okay, like I'm doing this and I'm doing this, and this guy comes out doing, because he has like a good understanding of poker, but he also does like so many free style. He plays like super street poker that you're like there playing like, like playing GTO or whatever, like trying to think what the best play is. And the guy comes like out like firing, like doing like a 6-bet shove on the turn with ace high, and you're like, I mean, come on, bro. This guy, he has to have it, like you're not used to those things.
Right.
I mean,
yeah. It's fun. It seems like a fun. I played with him once on a televised thing in Brazil, actually, and that was the first time I met him. But he seemed fun, and I mean, he's gotten very good. He's winning events, right? He's winning like 1,000-person buy-ins for money. He's final table November 9, and I know Ivan and him are tight. How great a player is Ivan Luka?
I mean, Ivan, yeah, it's amazing. I mean, he's always been really, really good. He's not playing the live scene anymore much now, but I see him playing a lot online. I think he's gonna be a father, so I'm pretty happy for him.
Amazing.
And yeah, I mean, Ivan is a natural skill, but the guy I really like is Damian on the 4th.
Yeah, man, that guy's tough. He to me, he won the year, right? He won the main event during the COVID, and that was a bit of
one of my best friends in poker. Yeah,
yeah, he wins the.
He's an amazing player. He's one of the best persons too.
Great guy. Seems like a great guy every time So I mean, yeah, Argentina's got some great players. And would you say the game's
Ramiro is doing great too. Petrone, you see him a lot.
Yeah, he's been on the GG final tables, Super Millions weekly a lot. I see him there often, actually. Where's he from? Is he like more newer? He's newer, or he's been around?
No, he's been around forever. But now he's been doing really, really, really good.
Yeah, also has a lot of success. Seems like a really, really nice guy too, and a good table presence. So yeah, it's cool. It's cool to see. What tournament do you look forward to most coming up? What's your like? Do you map out your year? Do you look ahead? And obviously, COVID's been a little weird because it's sort of through like the regular schedule. But like, what is the stops you just won't miss?
I mean, the stops I never miss. Like, I used to not to miss ever like the EPTs, because I was sponsored by Stars, and then I just kept playing because I just love them. Then now I just never miss like the World Series. I usually go a lot to Miami. I really like the Seminole over there, the whatever they have, like the World Poker Tour or the Seminoles Hard Rock Series or whatever. I think those are amazing value. And now there are also so many tournaments in Vegas, like I just go there and play. So it's like I was playing so much cash lately that like I didn't pay so much attention in tournaments, but then I kind of started like putting time and playing more tournaments and like I just like traveling more to tournaments because I really enjoy, I love playing tournament poker. Even though I just love playing cash game a lot too. But like what I like about tournaments is like sometimes in the private cash games, like I have to, it's more like a party, it's more like you have to drink and you're like, it's just like, it's a bit more tough on your health. That's just like being like, like going to play tournaments, so it's like chilling.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know. It's just something magical about tournaments, getting chips deep and the prize pool and knowing it's a set format, right? Like people just can't rebuy, and there's a record of it and all that. I love that. What would it mean to you being, how long were you with PokerStars? Because I remember this. I know you were, kind of the face of Latin American poker and one of the main ambassadors. What was that experience like becoming a sponsored pro at the time too, during the kind of the peak of poker?
Um, I really enjoyed it. It was like I was with them with like 5 years, maybe.
Yeah.
5, from like 2008 to like 2013. And then at some point, like PokerStars, like they just decided like they needed more like sports figures, and they just like kind of like dropped like 70% of their team pros.
Yeah.
And I was one of them. But I really thought like it was a great company. When like Isaac, Mark Scheimer, they were running it. Then when they sold it, it kind of went downhill. Like I disagree with like many of the policies. Like if you see it also like now, like it's kind of dead. Like it's like I don't need, I just say to my friends that I don't even want to play there anymore in my life. The other day I had this situation like where I went to London to play the W Cup main event, the 10K. There was a 10K and the 10K PLO, right? So I asked for a friend because I barely played there. I never played. So I didn't have balance in my account. I asked for, Francisco Benitez to Tomate, like, hey, will you transfer me money? So he transferred me 30,000, or like, I had like some money left. So let's say, whatever, I had like 40K to play. Then they canceled the whole tournaments, right?
Yeah,
On Sunday.
Yeah.
They canceled all the tournaments. I was like already playing a couple. They canceled the whole tournaments. The next day, I tried to transfer the money back to him, and they don't let me. And I emailed them and like, hey, listen, I've been a Team PokerStar Pro for 5 years. These guys send me money to play the two 10Ks and some other stuff, and I'm not gonna play. Can you send him the money back? They say no, you have to play. Back and forth, I sent like 5 emails with them. And like, what are you saying? I mean, like, you canceled the whole fucking tournaments, and now you can't transfer the money back. Are you guys out of your mind? It's all your fault. I mean, I don't want to play in your side.
Yeah, it's pretty. Look, I was sponsored there for as well. Like I think you left before I was there. I was there 17 and 18 basically. But yeah, I mean, I know that Scheinberg, everyone gives him so much credit and praise and how well it was run. And then I know there was a couple different transfers of ownership and teams, and it's I don't know. I agree. Again, I think obviously they were sort of like the biggest site in the critical, building it up and build the game of poker, and they've done a lot. But yeah, it does seem a bit it just seems a bit like some strange decisions going on and stuff. But
what is this? I mean, you cancel the whole tournaments, and now you want me to play cash game or to play tournaments till I unlock the money so I can transfer it back.
Did they give it back eventually?
No, I still have it.
Wow, that's crazy. That is actually crazy.
How crazy is that? I mean, I just came out with this because we're in the podcast. I just like had a couple of beers. I was not gonna say, because I really like poker the whole life, but this is completely out of line. This is like, I mean, I understand they say no, it's because of money laundering. I mean, like, what the fuck are you talking about, money laundering? I've been playing poker for 20 years. Tomati's been playing for 20 years or 14 years. We're both professional poker players. A friend, he sent me money. I sent him back. What the fuck are you talking about, money laundering? We all
right. Yeah,
how can you come up with that in an email to me, like saying that? I'm like, so now I understand why GG Poker is like completely obliterated them, because they will never treat the customer like that. Because they leave because of that. And if you see now, I was telling my friends, like, what the fuck, bro? I played one day, I played on Saturday. I played like 3 2Ks on Stars on W Cup, and they were like old regs. It was like a disaster. Like, I don't want to be playing here, like, okay, yeah, it's like 2K re-entry with like 80 players. Like, you see the lobby, and I know 85 of the 80. You know what I mean? I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And I never played. I mean, like, this is why you guys play, and I have to beat Joao Vieira, and like, what the fuck? I mean,
yeah,
like, okay.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, look, I'll say I'm happy.
Sorry,
no
sorry
worries.
for my business. I'm not giving you more business.
No, I there's a lot of options. There are a lot of sites doing a lot of things well, and it's there's a lot of good series, a lot of places to play, and for sure. I mean, I like I said, I'm biased, but very happy with GG. Love the software, love the guarantees. Obviously, the World Series of Poker host with partnered, right? You can win a bracelet. That's gonna be my last question for you today. Is I know you got some stuff going on there. You're in Europe. I appreciate you coming on. I got to ask you about the bracelets online. Now that maybe your opinion is different, but you've won the live bracelet. If you had won a online bracelet, would it feel different? Do you think it matters? Is there an asterisk to those winning online, or as an online original player to background? How do you feel it calibrates, or should it be the same?
No, it's definitely not the same. I feel it's not the same, but I think it's super prestigious also. I mean, but I mean, if you're playing, if you're online grinder, winning on like a online bracelet, it feels amazing. I mean, everything that it comes with winning, I just like. Even if I win the $150 or whatever I'm playing, I just like winning. Like I've been always. I had that since I'm like, like I was playing Magic. Like I just want to win. I want to win the tournament no matter what. And like people sometimes like, hey, why do you do this play, or why? I mean, I just don't care about like the patience. Like I mean, I always, like I just want to finish first.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if I finish 8 or 14, like, but I just go for it. I'm gonna go for it. I mean, I'm not like the kind of player that I never been like, like trying to ladder up and like get like, oh, the 20K pay jump or whatever. Like how it is, Chef. You've been there for a long time. Like the money is in the top 3.
Yeah.
On the top 4. I mean, like so, like people say, no, this is a 40K pay jump, and they just like fall like a spot that I would like, like that. It's kind of like you just have to go for it because you made like a 50K pay jump or whatever. Like I mean,
Yeah.
like I'd rather die, like on my own doing like. And that's what if you see like my stats, I have so many firsts in my career. Like
Yeah.
so many, like it's crazy. Like I just finish first, like, or like I just whatever, I just don't finish, like
It's a more fun way to do it, and I think like that's a very difficult concept for people to get around, right? Like it's like, okay, if you finish, or maybe make the money, right? But you go in the money and then you go for it and go out, right? There's just a lot more in that top spot than getting 10th or 12th or 15th or 8th, all more, right? So yeah, I think that's a big concept to grasp, and certain players are better at doing that than others for sure, and you definitely have some big results. So look at I know Nacho, I know we've been trying to do this for a while. We've been in different time zones, we've been traveling, and always a pleasure, always enjoy catching up with you. And of course, we'll be doing it again. We'll run it back. And you have been a guest on the Super Millions. If you guys ever want to watch some commentary, you can go and check that out. I believe that was a fun final table we did. I think it was
I loved it.
Big play. And hopefully
that it was one of the best I've seen, honestly.
Yeah,
with Fisoka and we saw heads up, it was amazing.
Yeah, that was cool. We'll put that.
I recommend everybody to go watch that one. You can go on Twitch on the past emissions. Like the heads up is just like bananas.
Yes, that was a master class. We'll put that link in the show more. That was on YouTube. That's on the GG Poker or my Jeff Gross Poker. I do have a highlight from those videos on there. So listen, Nacho, I appreciate it very much, man. I wish you the best and always a pleasure. Congrats on winning the bracelet. Congrats on all your success, and we'll be having a cerveza
Thanks
soon.
for having me. It was I'm here for you, bro. You're my dog.
I love it, man. I love it. Well, congrats again. Thank you so much for the time, and I'll see you on a stop very soon, and in Miami, of course. We'll see each other soon.
You still owe me a dinner because you lost on the.
I need to get an Excel sheet. I think I'm just going to start treating.
On the media.
I believe it. I'm just going to start treating all my guests anyway. I can't win anyway, and I may as well just treat instead of having to put it as a loss.
I think you're pretty bad at picking. I'm picking the snake drop.
Yes. You always lose it. All right, fair enough. All right, guys. Well, listen, that's Nacho Barbero. Where can they? I forgot to do this. I should have done this before. Where is this? Is this the best place to follow you on Instagram, Twitter?
Yeah,
where do you?
Or Twitter, Nacho_Barbero.
Beautiful. All right, well, there it is. And there's and you prefer more. What do you like to post more on?
I post more on Instagram, but I've been posting some on Twitter actually.
All right, and ladies, single. He's ready. He's 40. He's got his bracelet. He's got his accolades. He's ready. Is Nacho going to be a daddy one day? Do you want kids? Let's close with that. Family. How you feeling?
I kind of want, but maybe later. Like I was thinking, like honestly, like I always thought like I was gonna be a dad by 35 to 38, and then it kind of changed. I'm leaning toward more like around 50 now, but yeah, eventually for sure. I mean, not now. It's definitely not now the time. Like I'm right now. It's like I feel more like maybe having a girlfriend or something, but like
maybe and then start with the dog, one thing at a time.
Yeah, let's
kids a big deal.
One thing at a time, yeah.
For sure. All right, guys. Appreciate you. We will be back for another edition of the Jeff Gross podcast. The Flow Show coming up. This was number 174, Nacho Barbero. Give him a follow. Give him your love, support. The guy is a great guy, great player, and we wish him the best. So thanks again, Nacho.
Thank you, bro. Bye. See you next time.